So, Prabhupada mentions that uh, we may be attracted, one may be a devotee is attracted to Kurukshetra because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita there and Krishna was present there. Otherwise, a devotee is not attracted to any battlefield or any sightseeing and things like that. Prabhupada gave further examples of what is favorable to Krishna, not favorable. So, karma and jnana tendencies are again make things unfavorable to Krishna. So, because ajnana may lead one to imagination, and therefore one is not doing anything. It is just a theoretical fantasy imagination. Therefore, it will become unfavorable. And karma tendency is one has desires for his own sense gratification also. So the activity becomes very ritualistic. So one cannot do it heartily. One cannot do it heartily. So karma tendency, because the mindset is focused on what returns I'll get. Is it not? What share I am going to get back. So therefore these are not favorable to Krishna. No, not favorable to Krishna. That's why Prabhupada is calling it as ritualistic activity. The ritualistic activity is unfavorable to Krishna. So simply the process of hearing, chanting, remembering as described in Bhagavatam is sufficient. Okay, so this is pretty much the introduction. So with that, we'll move forward towards the first chapter. So we'll move forward to the first chapter of NOD and the characteristics of pure devotional service. Yes, question. Everything is guided by spiritual master. It's not that only bodily activities are guided by the spiritual master. Everything is guided by the spiritual master. The spiritual master is not only giving, everything is guided by the spiritual master. The spiritual master is not only giving no bodily activities, but he is giving us the right consciousness in which to do the activities. And the spiritual master is giving us everything. He is giving us opportunity to engage our speech also in Krishna service. So everything, it includes everything. It's not just bodily activities. Yeah. So we begin with the characteristics of pure devotional service. Let's read. In Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 29th chapter, verses 12 and 13. Srila Kapil Dev, while instructing his mother, has given the following characteristics of pure devotional service. My dear mother, those who are pure devotees, my pure devotees, and who have no desire for material benefit or philosophical speculation, have their minds so much engaged in my service that they are never interested in asking me for anything except to be engaged in that service. They do not even beg to live in my abode with me. There are five kinds of liberation, namely to become one with the Lord, to live with the Supreme Lord, on the same planet, to have the same features as the Lord, to enjoy the same opulence as the Lord, to live as a companion of the Lord. A devotee, what to speak of rejecting material sense gratification, does not even want any of the five kinds of liberation. He is satisfied simply by discharging loving service to the Lord. That is the characteristic of pure devotion. In the above statement by Kapil Dev from Srimad Bhagavatam, the actual position of a pure devotee is described, and the primary characteristics of devotional service are also defined. Further characteristics of devotional service are described by Rupa Goswami. With evidence from different scriptures, he states that there are six characteristics of pure devotional service, which are as follows. First, pure devotional service brings immediate relief from all kinds of material distress. Second, pure devotional service is the beginning of all auspiciousness. Pure devotional service automatically puts one in transcendental pleasure. It is rarely achieved. Those in pure devotional service deride even the conception of liberation. Sixth, pure devotional service is the only means to attract Krishna. Krishna is all attractive. But pure devotional service attracts even him. This means that pure devotional service is even transcendentally stronger than Krishna himself, because it is Krishna's internal potency. Now, relief from material distress. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that one should surrender unto Him, giving up all other engagements. Srila Prabhupada is explaining here how sins are of two types, mature and immature. Mature means that which you are already suffering. And Prabhupada explains, goes further to explain how these mature sins come. So it may be suffering. So this mature sinful reaction comes in the form of, one way it comes in the form of poverty, another way it comes in the form of legal implications, health issues, and what else? Yeah, being born in a low and degraded family. Yeah, being very ugly. So this is how the yeah. So we see the game is like this, that uh, material desires in themselves are quite painful, because material desires bring one to a state of hankering, and hankering is a state of quite an irritable state. Now the material desires will do. So now material desires, uh, along with sinful reactions, that becomes sure shot misery package. So material desires, one wants something, and sinful reaction is brought him down, smashed to the ground. So very acute suffering. Very acute suffering. That is a situation of very acute suffering. So therefore, you see, the sinful reaction in itself, there is the sinful reaction in itself is not impactful. But sinful reaction, when it gets combined with a material desire or a pre-existing material desire, then it is very impactful. So it's like that. Why? Because you see how the sinful reaction is coming. Prabhupada is saying it comes in the form of some chronic disease, some legal implication. One is born in a lower degraded family, one is uneducated, doesn't get education. One is ugly. So now the point is, that a person, so this is how the sinful reaction is coming. But this in itself is not ensuring suffering. The suffering comes because material desires get added to this. That's the explosive. So you see, that's the point. So somebody is ugly. So now what is the problem in being ugly? For example, can one not serve Krishna? Is Krishna going to reject? No, Krishna is not going to reject. Is Krishna seeing bodily beauty also? Krishna not seeing bodily beauty. So what is the problem being ugly? So being ugly, does it impede Krishna consciousness? Not at all. So but who is going to be troubled with being ugly? One who has a hook towards bodily beauty. Is it not? So for him it's going to be very acute, impactful problem. Similarly, being uneducated, is it a problem? Is it a problem being uneducated? Huh? Yeah, for serving Krishna, not a problem. In a temple, so many devotees. Somebody is illiterate, somebody is a PhD, somebody industrialist, somebody is cook. Bhagavatam, everybody sitting. Is it not? Everybody gets a chance to give Bhagavatam. Is it not? One day a PhD devotee gives Bhagavatam, another illiterate devotee gives Bhagavatam. No, everybody sitting. So how does it make a difference? It doesn't make a difference. Just like we don't know Bengali, is it a problem? In that way, everybody is illiterate in some field or the other. Is it not? Now, it's okay, we are IIT, we are IIT, but okay, on grounds of Bengali, we're illiterate, right? We're illiterate. And only Harshit was entered class nursery, he has what he has done. He has, he can read, like that, little bit he can read. If it is printed, he can read, like that. So, you can also read? Huh? Oh, he is also nursery, like that, and others are illiterate, including me, like that. So I did a few classes, but then I didn't continue, So, so the point is, you see, on those grounds, illiterate. On those grounds, illiterate. But can you preach? Can you do service? We can do service. Because Krishna consciousness doesn't require Bengali. Krishna consciousness requires dedication. Is it not? We can be in Bengal and we can preach, even though we are not knowing, like that. That doesn't mean you should never learn. But the point is, I am saying that you see this. Obviously, Srila Prabhupada, he left his degree, graduation degree. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj also did the same thing. So he left his graduation degree. Now Prabhupada was not crying. So now Prabhupada is saying, okay, uneducated is a sinful activities are exhibited, mature sinful activities, uneducated. But Prabhupada is not crying because he was, so one may say, okay, uneducated, 12th pass, But Prabhupada was very satisfied, is it not? Right? Why? Because material desires. He left na degree, he didn't do Gandhian philosophy. Huh? Final degree he didn't take. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj left very early only. So he left quite early. But Prabhupada left it before the final degree ceremony. So that means Prabhupada, what did he do graduation? Actually, factually, he didn't do any graduation because he left the degree, like that. So uneducated. Okay, 12 pass means uneducated, like that. But Prabhupada had no problem. Who had problem? So who will have problem whose material desires are very much flared up? That's the point. So sometimes, just like it happens sometimes. Devotees, now okay, we have done BTech, MTech, whatever, dual degree, from KGP, like that. After some years, devotees start feeling empty in their hearts. They're reaching out, like that. So why are they feeling empty in their hearts? What's the problem? Like that. It's desires. You see, it's material desires. It creates a problem. Otherwise, satisfied, fine only. How does it matter? Is it not? Like sometimes we see, devotees, after say 10 years, they want to do an MBA, or so you see, the point is, so why that feeling of emptiness is coming? Because again, the desires are, it's because of desires. It's because of probably fanning off certain material desires, and therefore satisfaction doesn't come anywhere. Like one time I was asking one devotee from he passed out from IIM, and I said, Prabhu, some of our devotees are wanting to do MBA and all that. Can you please give some tips? So he said, my dear Prabhu, my tip is you tell all your devotees, don't do MBA. Seriously. So I said, no, Prabhu, they're very serious about it. So why don't we make a club or something? You give some seminar, guide them and all that. He said, nah, he said, why don't you understand? It's going to take a toll on spiritual life. You know, it happened with me. I suffered. Somehow I have come back. Everything was, somehow I have, reinstated myself back. So do you feel I will recommend this to anyone? He said no. He disagreed to give any class. He said my point is very clear. Why do you want to mess up with your life? Very simple. He was telling. Why do you want to mess up with your life? So now that is IIM. What to say of IAS? So you see. So the point is, so now this devotee, he was genuinely sharing. He said, I got so low and down in Krishna consciousness. I said, no, Prabhu, somehow you can balance. And I said, what balance? What balance? They will squeeze up a lifetime, like that. And you're talking about balance. What are you going to balance it out there? Balanced candidates don't land up into IIM, like that because they want to go completely unbalanced and completely extremist. That's why they have landed up there, for their acute hike in salaries and ambitions and all that. So that was his honest advice, like that. Obviously, I could not, as it is transmit, like that, because devotees may get offended. They feel this fellow is always, what everybody will become brahmachari like him or what, people say like that, So I didn't tell the devotees. They said, okay, you can try, pray to Krishna. But this devotee clearly spoke to me like this. Actually, I knew what happened to him, like what ups and downs he faced. That I knew. The phase when he went down, it seemed that he was gone forever, Then he somehow picked it up, and came back. And he was telling, what are they achieving, like that. I didn't got much salary difference, even after doing IIM, So salary doesn't increase, That's my conclusion, So honest devotee, honest devotee. So he said, even if you want salary, even after doing IIM, your salary is almost the same. Doesn't increase. No. Doesn't increase, yeah. So yeah, I saw that when I was preaching to IIM also. Because many of our batchmates and all, they all are also having a craze going to IIM and all. I saw that, So like I was working for a 8 lakh job, like that. But I was not at all interested in career. I mean, therefore it was 8 lakh, And a CSE could have offered 11, 12 those days, 10, 11, Especially if you work a little hard in the placement or within a year or so, like that. So I was landing about 8 lakhs. That also because Russian had sent me on a punishment to Bangalore and all that. Otherwise, Pune it was 4 or lakh or 3.5 lakh or something, like that. It became 1.7 lakhs also, when I was in PhD. So like that. So I was not at all concerned much about the career. That was the point. But then I was seeing the average salary those days in IIM Bangalore was 12. Average salary was 12. So and then I was wondering that okay, 10 we can get not with not much difficulty, and then you pay 25 lakhs to these fellows, and after 2 years they will give you 12, But it didn't seem appealing to me. It seemed appealing to me, is it not? So that's like that. This devotee also told me that way. So you see, the point is, material desires make our disposition very acute. Similarly, about disease, we see proper disciples in the old age, but they are happily and very enthusiastically practicing Krishna consciousness, much more enthusiastic than ever. Rashambhu was once quoting one senior sannyasi who was saying, it is better to have a sickly body and be Krishna conscious than to have a very healthy body and do sense gratification, So that's the point. So you see that it is a great installment of now bhakti will act in frying out the seeds of kama karma. The immature seeds is being explained is going to be fried out. That means that in further lives one is not going to get an ugly body, or one is not going to get a disease sickly and all that. No, all those things may not happen actually. So, but even before that, bhakti purifies our mindset, and therefore even material desires are not there. Is it not? So one doesn't has to, so the point is that in that way bhakti is acting very very fast. Not only sinful reactions are getting purified, but then the sinful reactions were needing material desires to be impactful. And material desires is very easily purified. That the first note is purified. And therefore, actually, bhakti is so merciful process, is it not? So the point is that one should not wait for the situation to become favorable to intensify one's Krishna consciousness. No, if I practice bhakti nicely, I can become a Nobel laureate. Then I can glorify Prabhupada very nicely. You can glorify Prabhupada now also. Don't worry. You don't have to. Is it that? That's a simple point. One should not just wait for the situation to be a little favorable. If only I was a little mentally stronger than what I am, I could have done more service. And even a mentally weak state also can serve Krishna. Krishna not saying if you are mentally strong, your strength index is this, then only you can come to do service to me. You can serve in mentally weak state also. Mentally weak means one gets fearful, one gets disturbed, easily disturbed, like that. One gets fearful, like that, and that mentally weak, not able to handle, pressure, that way. So, so can one serve? Can one not serve? One can serve actually. We don't have to wait for next life and a very mentally strong body, but socially, not to be able to serve Krishna, no, not like that. Why? By spiritual strength, one can drive himself. So the point is, if we don't have these external, pillars, then we'll be completely dependent on Krishna, and that's a good position. That's not bad, is it not? Like that. That's a good position. That's a good position. So rather you will see. So therefore, actually, what is favorable, what is unfavorable, is a very relative terminology. The point is that if once if one's attitude is proper, then one can practice bhakti very nicely, is it not? So we see each and every percent of the Shastras is very powerful. So here Kleshagani is actually talking about, okay, in the physical plane, things will start becoming a bit better. But actually Krishna consciousness is much more powerful and effective on the mental plane. And therefore, if we see it from a proper perspective, then Kleshagani is very quickly and very intensely manifested, because it sets right our mental plane. So our desires, our expectations set right. Then no problem. It is stated in Padma Puran that there are 4 kinds of effects due to sinful activities, which are listed as follows: the effect which is not yet fructified, the effect which is lying as seed, the effect which is already mature, and the effect which is almost mature. It is also stated that all these 4 effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishnu, when become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, those effects described as almost mature refer to the distress from which one is suffering at present. And the effects lying as seed are in the core of the heart, where there is a certain stock of sinful desires which are like seeds. The Sanskrit word kutam means they are almost ready to produce the seed or the effect of the seed. An immature effect refers to the case